every time I finish playing football, one game, I score 1 goal, 2 goal, or I didn't score. My father called me. When I scored 2 goals, he said, okay, you scored 2 goals, but you still have this bad thing. My wife said, you have to do more. So that's kind of thing is I needed. When the kid is come from a family member, then you know that that's for the good thing, for the sake of the good thing.
Right. So today, very special guest. I think for me, the number one legend on and off the field in Indonesia. Join me for a session today. Also my manager at Persija. I used to play against him many times. He got his first yellow card because of me last year.
Yes.
Today he's with me on a podcast to inspire people who are listening. Thank you so much for joining, Beppe.
You're welcome.
First question, Beppe, in home in Jakarta, how is everything? How you keep busy during this time?
Mostly I stay at home, because the situation is still not under control. So I just doing what I like to do at home: cooking, reading, writing, something like that. I just go out for some meeting if there's very important. I have to go out. So, and other than that, I just stay at home with my family because many of our times, as when we are active, as a footballer, as a manager, we always doing outside, and most of our time is with the friends on the field. So when we have a time like this, so we can give more time to the family.
Wife senang sekarang atau sudah bosan?
Yes, we do everything, from the little thing to the big thing. So this is kind of like you more reconnect to your family, And
yes.
Yeah, it's maybe this situation is difficult for everyone, but if we see from the positive side, this is like a blessing in disguise because then you can, connect to your family anymore.
You felt like you missed this connection between you and your family because you've been always away, always playing, always busy achieving things. You felt like you missed this in your life? Yeah,
because I've been playing football for 20 some years, and most of our time, as you know, that we only, our time is hotel, airport, field, airport, hotel. Sometimes only 7 days. We only at home for 2 days or 3 days. So, sometimes if we ask to our deepest heart, we want to spend more time with the family. So now we got it.
Moment sekarang baik ya.
Yeah.
Lebih bagus sekarang. Okay. People admire you so much on the field. How did you start with football? And who inspires you a lot? Tell me a thing that people don't know about Beppe yet. Bisa bahasa ya? Bisa bahasa.
Yeah, of course. I'll mix it. First of all, I started playing football when I was 8 years old. It started when my birthday, and then my dad gave me a gift, like a boot. I remember vividly that was Adidas Foxy. The brand is Adidas Foxy, and I don't know still have it now or not. But that's the first time then I start thinking that I have to train football serious and try to achieve what I've been dreaming for. So in 8 years old, I start to learn how to play football. And ever since I was always pursuing my dreams, and until, I'm written at 39. So you can imagine that 31 years I've been playing football since I was a kid. So it's you can say most of my life I'm living in football world. So yeah, that's what I do when I was a kid, dreaming as a footballer, watching some of the senior players, some of the stars like Kurniawan, like the late Ricky Akobi was playing in the television, and one day I want to be like them. I want to be on TV and make my family proud. So that's the beginning, because when you start something, you have to start with the dreaming. You have to dream, then you try to visualize, then you try to pursue it. Then one day, probably, if you work hard enough, then you can achieve your dreams.
Who learned you that to visualize, to dream? Who was your inspiration in that way?
No, actually, it's my father, because my father was a football coach also, and he's my first coach. So every time I start training, he always said that if you want to be a good footballer, you have to start training in the right way. Because when I was a kid, my kampung, normally the kids playing football barefoot, without football shoes, because when you're a kid, it's kind of difficult to play with the shoes, because feel like heavy, then you try to hit the grass or something like that. So the first day, first week, I'm not using the boot. Put it away. I playing barefoot with other friends. But my dad was very angry, because if you start training like that, you will not become a footballer, because the professional footballer play with the boots. So that's the start thing that I try to change my mind, training with the boot, how to adjust, and to visualize that, oh, this is the time that I have to change it. Yeah, until now.
Nice. Then one moment you joined Persija. Also tell me about how you joined Persija and how you felt at that moment, but also at what moment made you realize that Persija is your destiny?
It's a bit strange actually, because I was playing for the national team first before I played professionally. So when I started ever call up for the national team, it was 1999. I'm still in the Center of Excellence. I was in my last year of high school. So I played for the national team. Then after that, I got offer from two clubs in Jakarta. One club in Jakarta, Persija team. Now they changed to Sebuah. So at the time, Persija have 4 strikers, and four of these strikers all are national players. So there is never crossed my mind that I want to play for Persija, or even they interested in me. No. So maybe 2 or 3 days before the transfer window closed, suddenly there is a big move from the Persija. There was 3 strikers moved. 1 to the PSM, 1 to Arema, then 1 to Persija. So there's only 1 striker left. Suddenly, 2 days before the transfer window closed, the manager called me and said, "Do you want to join Persija?" So it's like a dream come true. What? Are you serious? And then after 5 minutes we discussing, then I joined. I agreed to join Persija. So that's the time. So after I got the phone call, I called to the Persija team, explained everything, because I got an offer and this is good for me. So we discussed about how I moved to the Persija, because there was a rival, So they let me go and I joined Persija. So that's the first time. It was 1999. And many people maybe don't know that my first game with Persija, I'm wearing number 24, because number 20 is not ready yet, because I joined just before the closing time, first game.
Yeah.
So I wear number 24 the first game. In the second game I changed to number 20. So that's the funny thing. And when I arrived to Persija, that was our base camp still in Stadium Menteng, in the center of city. So there was a very historical stadium, but now it's gone. When I go to the office and I saw how many trophies there, big trophy, I feel like, wow, this is a big club, and this like so many history here. By the time Persija is like maybe 18 or something years never be a champions. Many good players coming there at the last 2 years. So this team is getting wake up and getting ready to be the champion. So that's the first time I said that I want to be here for a long time, because I feel like this is the home for me, and everybody at the time wants to play for Persija. So that's the first feeling I got. Then I'm staying here.
When you arrived. How decisive was the support of your father and your family to achieve your dreams, to be able to play in Persija and become a professional footballer?
Okay, This time I will speak bahasa because this is very important for the young players.
Yeah.
Ayah saya dan istri saya adalah dua kritikus terberat dalam karir saya. Bukan pers, bukan supporters, tapi ayah dan istri saya. Karena mereka selalu mengkritik saya dalam keadaan apapun. Bagusnya adalah kritik ini adalah kritik yang didasari oleh rasa cinta. Kritik yang ditujukan kepada saya agar saya menjadi lebih baik. Berbeda dengan kritik dari supporter yang mungkin dasarnya adalah rivalitas atau tidak suka. So, kritik ini menjadi sangat penting karena bisa membuat saya selalu mencoba untuk menjadi lebih baik. So, every time I finish playing football, one game, I score 1 goal, 2 goal, or I didn't score. My father called me. When I scored 2 goals, he said, okay, you scored 2 goals, but you still have this bad thing. My wife same. You have to do more. So that's kind of thing is I need. When the critics come from a family member, then you know that that's for the good thing, for the sake of the good. So every time I get this kind of treatment from my family, then I always remind that I have to do better. So that's very important. So I don't really care about critic from the fans or from the media because it's not about their critics not important, no. But I always take the critic from my family because I know that it is good for the good reason, and it can keep motivate me to be better, And every player should have that kind of feeling, because as a footballers, you know that banyak orang yang ingin menggeser kita, when you play for our first 11, there is another 8 or how many they want to change to be in the first 11. So you have to keep you motivated, and that's keep you motivated a lot.
It's quite inspiring that you say that it comes from your family and from your father and mother and your wife, because I think one thing to touch on is media, supporter, fans in Indonesia. I think when we do well, and maybe better than me, of course you know better than me, you've been here so long. When we do well, you kind of feel like you are on the sky, like a superstar. This kind of feeling you can get from the supporter. When we do bad, it feels like you go to the ground because people may be hating on you or telling you bad words. What is a message you want to give other football players to let me say it differently first. Have you ever felt bad about bad support from fans, supporters, media?
No.
How have you dealt with it?
First of all, our value, say, or what the people think about me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my job, actually. So that's why I always try to separate between my professional life and my private life. So when I became to professional life, then I take as many as critics I want to motivate me. But otherwise you cannot be, you cannot motivate you on the pitch. But when I'm outside the football pitch, I'm a normal people. I stay at home, do it what I want. And I don't really care about what the people said. That's make me realize that I'm still human and I have another job in the world.
Yeah.
And that's good. So if you ask me about is that effect to me, I said no, because that's not really important to our job. The good thing is, when I was growing up as a footballer, there is no social media, so you only focus with what you do. There is no. You can only read the news in newspaper, but now it's more difficult for the young players because, the expectation is more. Sometimes you don't have a private life because the comment in social media sometimes bother you. But that's what I want to tell young players, that you don't have to care about that. The only thing you have to care is what you do on the pitch. That's all, because that's your value as a footballer, and that's very important.
Agree. The other side, and maybe that's maybe a more dangerous side for me, is that when young players do well in this country, especially, they start to believe they are really a superstar.
Yeah.
Or foreigners who arrive, local players who arrive just in the first team, and the supporter becomes so big, and the appreciation becomes so big. At one moment, they cannot reach expectations anymore. Also, maybe they're walking outside of their shoes because they think they're really a superstar. How you think they should deal with that amount of appreciation and support?
I think for the last 4 years probably, I closed the comment of my Instagram because sometimes the comment is, if there is a good comment make you happy, but then bad comments come in that you feel bad or something like that. But like I said before, that it doesn't matter, what the people think about you. What they comment is not important. So I decide to close it, and then I can focus to what I want to do and what I do. The most difficult in the social media now is when they say that you are a good player, then you start to believe it, and that's very dangerous because after that you will not work hard anymore. You believe that you already a big player, then you think that what you get now is enough, because there is always another level for every player, especially when you're still playing in Indonesia, so you have to go out and playing abroad or something like that. In terms of social media, we have the opportunity to choose whether you playing seriously or you just playing for fun. Then you take only the good thing and you leave the bad thing. So you have to decide. At the end, you have to opportunity to, okay, I don't need this one or I need this one. So that's the thing that I do for the last 4 years, because the comment from the Instagram is not really big thing for me, and will not affect everything for me. So I decide to close it because, and one thing is, if you're playing for the big club like Persija, when they have many rivals, sometimes whatever you posted, the supporter from other rival will say something bad. And you have to remember that you also have supporters that will defend you. So there can be war there. And I don't like that. I don't want that to happen, because in top of everything, football is playing to become friends, like to be
share the passion.
Yeah. So I don't want to make my social media become something bad for the people. So that's the reason behind also.
Okay. One thing what I really admire, and I didn't even know that when I just arrived in Indonesia in the past year, was that you are, I would say, a benchmark in Indonesia for football players, that you kind of knew since young that that you was more than a football player. You also had a life besides football, what you was interested in, create a business, become a public speaker. Did that ever affect you on the pitch?
No.
And I think that's a very interesting topic, because why I'm ask you that is because people think that you cannot have a private life anymore, that you only should be Beppe the football player.
Yeah.
The reason behind the question.
No, like this. Like I said before, that we can choose what we want to do, and we cannot make everyone's happy. We can choose the one whose we can give the happiness. And why I do a lot of things outside football, because as a public figure, you have the opportunity to give impact to the society. The impact depends on you. The good impact or bad impact depends on you. And I believe that we have the moral responsibility to give our best, not only on the pitch but also outside the pitch. That's why we have to do what we can do to create more, better generation in the future. Because some players or some people maybe not realize that as a footballer, one of our job is to do the job is uh, from what player before did, and we have to continue the job, and we have to inspire the next generation player. So that's the thing that we have to know, that's why we, as a players, I try to not only try to do my best on the pitch, but also outside with the pitch, because with a good example, then you can affect people, especially the young generation, that to be a professional you have to be like this, you have to do this, and that's kind of like our moral responsibility to young players. And sure, as a footballer, you have many opportunities to do that. You can do like what you do now. I'm very proud that you have the project now in Bali. That was good, and that's also, it will affect the players. Other people that the football players not only we see on the television that have a glamour life, something like that, but also have a heart, to do something good for the other people, and that's inspiring.
True.
So that's what should every players have in their mind.
You are not only a Persija legend, but Indonesian legend as well, Timnas legend. I think you achieved a lot of your dreams in terms of football. Are you living the life of your dreams?
Yes. Like I said to you in the beginning, for 31 years I was living my footballing life, and it was my dreams when I was a kid. But to be honest, we cannot always achieve what we want, and sometimes you just fail to do something, but it doesn't mean that you have to stop to pursuing your dreams, because sometimes football is not an individual game. It's a team game. So sometimes you play good enough, but when the performance of the team is not good enough, then we can win the games. So that's why we have every player should have to do the best of their ability on the pitch to achieve the team's goal and to win the game. It's kind of difficult to say that I'm not struggling. Of course, I'm struggling a lot in my time as a footballer, even though now. But what makes me motivate most of the time is because I have a family, and I work because I work for someone I love, for the people I love. So when you work for the people you love, for the passion you love from since when you're a kid, then you always motivate, and you always try to give your best in every situation, and that's work for me.
Are you satisfied with your career?
For the some part of particular thing in my footballing career, I can do better. But if we talk about generally, yes, I'm satisfying, because I fought my fight very, very tough, and I didn't win all of my war, but at least I tried to give my best to try to win it, and then I'm satisfied with it.
What was your greatest fear ever as a football player?
My greatest ever fear cannot be myself, because as you know, when you are a public figure, then many people knows you that you don't have any private life, and that's what I'm afraid. So that's why when I'm working, I'm on the pitch, I'm the people have me. But when I'm at home, I try to lock everything, then I'm a family man. So that's why I never pick up the phone from the numbers I don't know, because sometimes the media call you and whatever they want to interview, something like that. So no, I'm not take that kind of interview. So that's why I'm writing. So if the media or whatever they write in an email, they ask me about something, about the interview, anything, I will answer that in 2 days probably. I will answer that. But when they call like after sake or something like that, no, it's not going to happen with me, because I know that I have to make it. I have to be a family, and the others for people.
I like that. Has that always been your case? Have you, since young, since starting a career, since you just had a family? Was it always like that, or is that something you have learned over the years that you need to separate it?
I think I started from 2003, probably, because at the time I'm still a young player. There's too many distractions, from the people, because when you start to live in Jakarta, there's whatever you want, the city have it. So I start to I have to make decision, because I want to be a successful footballer. So maybe this kind of thing I cannot do now. I will do it after when I was retired. When I'm retired, not now. So that's kind of probably for some players it's difficult. But if you know what's your aim, what is your goal, then it should be easy. Because the fun part you can do later. But the hard work is you do it now, because the time as a footballer you only. I'm lucky I can play until 39, but most of the players will retire at 35, maybe 33. Not many players can play like Ismet, 41 still playing. It's unbelievable. But most of the players only have 10 to 12 years in this short period. So you have to make sure that this 12 years is worth to fight. So the fun part is step aside first. Put aside.
Afterwards.
Yes, afterwards.
How do you define success, and what do you want to achieve? What kind of success do you want to achieve in your career after football?
I have many passion actually outside football. I love to write. I love to doing like theatrical things, something like that. But I can't do it when I'm still footballers. But now I have a time to do it. But the problem is the situation is not it's difficult for everyone at the moment. So success for me is to make whatever you have to affect another people. Like what you do should be affect other people in a good way. And if you can do that, then that means you are successful. Like what the people do now to inspire people with what they do. No matter what you do, as long as that's a good thing and that helps others and that's inspire people, and I think that's it's successful in my opinion.
Agree. Do we see Beppe back in football in 5 years or 10 years in terms of just being available in the industry, or will you disappear and go do something outside of football?
To be honest, actually, this year I plan to disappear. After I retire, I plan to just stay away from football, because for 20-some years I just live in the football world. So after that, I just want to stay at home, drink some tea, and enjoy my life. But suddenly, the management came to me and asked me to help. Then I think that this because of appreciation from the management, because I've been here for long. Then I feel like I also still have the love of this club. So then I agree. But I can't promise that I will stay here long, because it depends on what happened and depends on how I feel actually. But whatever it is, I just want to do my job as good as I can now, and we'll see what's going to happen in the future.
What message, let me say it in bahasa, ada message dari Beppe untuk anak-anak di Indonesia dan Jakarta dan anak-anak main bola dan semua anak dia mau realize mimpi dia?
Yang paling penting tentu adalah jangan pernah takut untuk bermimpi, jangan pernah berhenti bermimpi, karena suatu saat nanti mungkin mimpi kalian akan menjadi kenyataan. Mungkin beberapa tahun lalu Bambang Pamungkas yang bermain untuk Persija, mungkin sekarang Mark Klok yang bermain untuk Persija, tapi suatu saat nanti mungkin kalian yang akan menggantikan kami untuk bermain di Persija. Jadi persiapkan diri sebaik mungkin. Karena di dunia profesional, sepak bola profesional selalu ada persaingan, dan siapa yang terbaik dia yang layak untuk tampil. Oleh karena itu giatlah berlatih dan jangan lupa berdoa, dan yang paling penting adalah jangan pernah berhenti berusaha.
Nice. I made some rapid questions for you.
Yep.
So don't think. Just give your first instinct to me. Stadion Lepak Bulus atau Stadion Gelora Bung Karno?
Bulus.
Kota dengan kuliner paling enak di Indonesia?
Solo.
Juara Persija atau juara di timnas?
Tim nasional.
Oseng pare atau steak?
Oseng pare.
Maradona atau Messi?
Maradona, of course.
Memasak atau mengajar?
Mengajar.
Juara di luar negeri atau juara di Indonesia?
Luar negeri.
Kegiatan sosial atau bisnis?
Sosial.
Kurniawan atau Eli Boy?
Kurniawan. Kurniawan is my idol, bro.
Malaysia atau Thailand?
In terms of opponent or what?
In terms of level.
Oh, Thailand.
Dibuatkan patung atau jadi nama stadion?
That's difficult. I don't want to be both.
Is an answer?
Patung.
Okay. That's it from my side.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't have any question, but hopefully that's our interview is getting well. I don't know. Something wrong, I said.
Of course. No, thank you. I think I will put subtitles as well. I think it's an inspiring message for not only children but also current football players who are living their dream life.
By the way, you put the wrong question there between Maradona and Messi. That's the
why
wrong question. You should put Maradona or Paul Gascoigne. Then will be.
And then you start to think, okay. But because two are Argentinian,
Yeah.
So that's why.
No, because actually like this, when I was I started playing football as a midfielder. I was a attacking midfielder, wearing number 16. When I was young, then I very idolized Maradona because in 88, 80 something, Maradona is very, very like the best player in the world. Even though right now I still do. No, then after that in Italia 90, that's the first World Cup I saw on TV, and there was one magician from Britain, an English player. Paul Gascoigne is like, wow, this player is very, very talented, different genius. But in terms of what he can do on the pitch, outside the pitch,
yes,
is crazy. But I don't.
It's another story.
Yeah, I don't care about it because as long as he do the job right, then that's the two players that I love the most. I think a few weeks ago there was a question that what is your 5 favorite players in the world? I put Maradona, I put Paul Gascoigne, I put Enzo Sifo. Did you know Enzo Sifo?
Oh.
Enzo Sifo is Belgian player.
Okay.
Then I put the Marco van Basten. Then the other one is Kurniawan. So
all those players are before my time.
Yeah. And so, but Enzo Sifo, I thought because there was a Belgium so near Holland. I thought
no, I didn't. The other 4 I heard of, but this one I didn't.
Because when I was like 21 years ago, when I was living in Holland, I was living in the part called Valkenburg, and that's near in the downside near the Germany and Belgium. So
okay,
let's make difference only the color of the plate, the number plate. White, yellow, and the other one is black. Like that. So we're in Germany, we're in Belgium.
That's how you remember.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. My pleasure. And by the way, regards for your family. Enjoy life.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget to train, because we don't know when league started.
Is it ever gonna start, bro?
Now, that's the situation, because they said that they will be start on February, but as you know, that it still depends on the authority of the police to release the letter. So I believe that it's still 50-50, because we don't know that what's going to happen especially in January about this COVID thing. The COVID is getting down, so probably we can start if there is. And I don't know, but
I have one question for you, by the way. What do you support Indonesian players at the moment who want to play abroad in Indonesia?
Of course, because if I'm a player now, then I should do that the same. I should do the same try to play abroad, because in Malaysia, for example, Thailand, Singapore, and other countries, the league is playing, and only here is not playing because of the situation in Indonesia is a little bit difficult, a little bit different, because this year we also have an election. So sometimes in Indonesia, the political stuff is affect football. So that's the difference here. So when the young players now try to play abroad, I'm happy to hear that, and I'm supportive to that. That's why we release Ryuji, because it's good for Ryuji, and hopefully next year we can come back here and with a better shape, better experience, and good for the national team also.
Okay. So you think outside you think Indonesian people will support that as well, or will they blame the players who will go?
It depends, because you cannot control what the people opinion actually. Make their opinion based on the love of the club, or they will say something wrong. But if they think about for the players, the experience, and what the players are thinking about their future, then they will say okay. Because it's different. It's different people like you and me, who knows football, who know everything about situation. It's easier for you to make decision, but for the people outside there, they will say that, oh, you don't love the club, you traitor, and it doesn't matter, because as long as a professionally you don't break the rule, that's fine. That's the most important thing, because we are professional. What makes professional player different than the other amateur player? Because you have an agreement, you have a professional contract. As long as you don't break the contract, that's fine.
Nice words to finish.
By the way, I got my family once more. Enjoy life there.
Yes, you too. Enjoy as well. Start giving me some recipes about your cooking game.
You have to give me, because I saw you on Instagram. You become the vegetarian chef, yeah?
I mean, not me, my wife.
But
I just make the picture.
but you know the recipe also. So next time.
Of course, I know.
So next time, last time is Ryuji share the recipe in our academy. So next time you should come there and.
All right, share the recipe.
Yeah, share the recipe. There will be what you cook last time?
Where?
Your Instagram.
I cannot remember. I put too much. Gado?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Probably that. Gado.
Yeah?
Gado.
We will do it.
So when one question: when is you decide to become vegetarian?
When?
When and how you feel after that?
After that, so I start 2018. 2018, 2 years ago. Start of 2018. 2017 actually. In the last part, because my wife was already vegetarian, and she cooked 2 times, so one for me and one for her. And at one moment, she said to me, like, why you don't join with my diet? I said, because I'm a sportsman, I need my protein, and I really love chicken. She said, okay, but look at this documentary It's called What the Health. On Netflix, you have it as well. What the Health. And after that documentary, Speak to Me Again. So I've been watching that documentary, and I got really impressed by stories of other athletes and just meat and dairy in general, like how many bacterial things are inside for the human body, etc. So I said, after that documentary, I said, okay, you know what? I will give it a try for 2 weeks. Let's see if I can, and let's see how I feel, if it doesn't affect my performance or whatever. So actually I did it, and I felt very good. I felt lighter. Didn't have my recovery time wasn't that long anymore, because previous I felt sluggy or I felt tired, and I felt quite energetic. Woke up more early. So actually I never went back after that day to eat meat or consume dairy. So accordingly, I've been going stricter by time. So at the first moment, I still ate eggs and those things, and after a while, I just cut all of those things.
So no egg also?
No egg.
Milk?
Milk, no. Only soya milk or almond milk.
Interesting, because some of the players probably scared to being vegetarian because you need more energy than they think that not enough only food, only vegetarian food, but you prefer well. That's why I told you before that when I was in some restaurant, I met PSM player. I said, "Where's Mark?" He said, "Mark never eat this kind of food."
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said, "Where's Mark?" Mark stay at the hotel. You will never eat this kind of. I said, "Why?" Because he's vegetarian. Oh, I see. At the time I was eat steak. I saw.
Was the Brazilian barbecue?
Yeah, the Brazilian barbecue. So I was there with my family. Then I saw some of the, I think 4 players. Yeah, 4 players. Then I come to the table and say, where only you? Where is Mark? And Mark is at the hotel sleep.
And what do you think by this time? You think this guy's crazy?
No, this is the funny thing about a footballer. Sometimes because you're living in a very tight profession in terms of time, in terms of discipline and everything. But to be honest, as a human, you really need your moment. That's what I said to you. I'm scared, cannot be myself. So when I'm free, I want to do something that it's really me. But everyone have a different side of craziness. There's some players go out for the dinner, go out for the club, probably doing something. But as long as what they did not affect the performance on the pitch, it should be fine. Because everyone has want to be, like their self. Like I want. For me, I'm stay at home, write a book, write something. Read a book, and that's me. Cooking, that's me. That's and I don't like to watch football game. Since I was I don't even in the replay of my game. I didn't watch it.
No,
I didn't watch it because for what because I've been all day with football. So when I have free time, I want to do something that's not connected to football.
I share this, but there is also a different thing in terms of you do what is really you and showing what is really you. I think people have to be smart about that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes showing what is really you can affect
bad thing, yeah.
You, right?
Yeah.
But by doing what you do and just keep it secret.
That's why you have to be smart, because what happened, I think a few months ago, there was a conflict between players and fans because of eating something. If you want to do something what you want, that you don't have to show everyone, because that's you as a human, and that's not people consume. So you have to be smart.
Sure.
That's why that we have to, as I said before, that we have a moral responsibility to show, to do the good thing, to good example to the people.
Yeah.
If you realize become a footballer is not easy actually, because we have to live something, not in terms, not only what you want to achieve, but you have to be example in every time. But people out there is just sometimes don't know, then they just don't care and just shout something bad about you. You don't even know the situation actually.
But that's part of it, of the nice life.
You have to,
that's part of it.
You have to eat it all. At
True.
the end that you, the only people who know you is, at the end, it's only you.
True.
And you know the best thing for you.
And as long as you're satisfied with yourself in life, I think that's the most important.
That's what I call success. After that.
So that's why Beppe is successful, because he's a satisfied person. I think that's a nice one to end.
Hey, I saw you wearing the national training jersey, yeah?
I just received it now.
This a training kit or what?
The third jersey.
Oh, the third jersey. So hopefully you get a call up soon as possible.
Soon, hope so.
And playing for our country.
Following your footsteps.
You were number 20.
No. Shared by two. Whatever number is fine, as long as I'm can achieve my dreams. Yes.
All right, Mark.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much.
Speak soon. Stay safe.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.